I just miss I will miss Kaiten because it looked so unique when you use it. Like you flip your sword over and you sheath it and then you midara. It just feels like something is missing. If Kaiten isn't there, it just feels like something is missing, you know? Now, let's watch this video and let's actually see the thoughts of Misshapen talking about Kaiten.
Travelers. Well, this is...
I love this guy's channel, by the way. He's great. Let me put the music up, video volume up a little bit. Alright, let's see.
This is rare. I bet you didn't think you'd see me again so soon. Is this a boring Misshapen chair video commenting on current events and job changes during a live letter? Incredible. Guess that means the world is probably ending. Instead of wasting a ton of your time on this, I want to make a somewhat short and sweet video that doesn't contain too much anger from me to explain a few things about these samurai changes and make a humble request about maybe holding off on them. As I am sure everyone is aware, Hisatsu Kaiten is planned to be removed from samurai. For those who don't know anything about the samurai rotation at all, outside of your 2-minute burst window, technically you have to choose between spending this little meter down here on either buffing your next weapon skill GCD or just doing damage.
Dude, without Kaiten, it's literally just gonna be a Shinten spam, isn't it? I mean, what else would you spend Kaiten on? What else would you spend Kenki on? Like, you just Shinten, GCD, Shinten, blah blah, Shinten. Because Kaiten used Kenki, so you gotta like watch your Kenki bar, make sure it doesn't overcap. Even when you Iki Shoten, you have to use a lot of Shintens, man.
What it really boils down to is buffing all of your EI Jutsu casts and spending the rest on Shinten without overcapping the meter.
Yeah.
In practice, this is not that hard and not something incredibly nuanced, but what this does do is give this job some nice button variety with its meter spenders and doesn't just give it one button to dump everything into.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking.
One button is strict and always has to be used before EI Jutsu, but the other one is much more freeform.
Exactly, there's 2 variations to spend Kenki on, and limiting it to only one is just bad design.
Making them both distinct.
Maybe they could replace Kaiten or something. If they're gonna remove it, just add another one. I don't know. I don't think it's right to remove Kaiten.
Samurai being the only job that really still does this, and to me and most of the player base of this job, still consider that core to the design.
And the even windows, yeah.
I think this skill is more important to the job than the devs want to give it credit. But the big reason why I'm personally upset about this change is the cited reason. They said they wanted to reduce the button
Yeah, I also agree with this, and I actually talked about this in today's stream, that the reason they removed it is literally just for the sole reason of action bloat. And I'm gonna go in game here for a second and just show samurai. Like if we look at samurai, right? The action bloat, you can make Iki Shoten be Ogi Namikiri instead of putting it separate. If you're concerned about action bloat, removing an ability that's so important, right? Completely remove it. It's yeah, the reasoning is kind of off, in my opinion. If anything, to reduce one button bloat, make Iki Shoten be Ogi Namikiri, and you're pretty much set.
Bloat and the amount of abilities that Samurai has. If you really want to address this problem on Samurai, Kaiten feels pretty incredibly low on the priority list of buttons to reduce, purely for the fact that you press it fairly frequently and technically have to make an active decision with it.
Yeah.
I would honestly go as far to say as it's the only thing that even really makes Kenki management exist in the first place. Instead of just complaining though, I will give you some easy solutions that would probably not require as much work and would help reduce some button bloat. An easy button to change is Ogi Namakiri.
That's exactly what I just said.
A button which was added in this expansion.
With Iki
After
Shoten.
pressing Iki Shoten, you are allowed to cast Ogi Namakiri.
Yes.
It would probably make sense if Iki Shoten would just turn into Ogi Namakiri after pressing it. similar to Ninja's Bunshin turning into
Into Kamaitachi. Yes, they literally did that, and it's perfect.
Phantom Kamaitachi. That seems like a fairly easy adjustment, and you can save a button. You also gave us another button this expansion in the form of Shoha 2, instead of just upgrading Shoha to make it AoE like what was done for Paladin this expansion with Spirits Within.
Whoa.
That's another easy fix. Simply make Shoha upgrade to Shoha 2 and do damage in single target and have fall off. That's another button that's easy to save.
True.
Another one that's probably good.
Yeah, you know how Phantom Rush from Monk, for example, it like targets one target, makes the most damage on that target, and AoEs around too, like damaging people around it. That's what could have been done with Shoha there. Yeah, I agree, because they've done it with other jobs.
To talk about is Hisatsu Sene and Hisatsu Guren. This is very similar to Shoha and Shoha 2, and while I personally like having two buttons for deciding between AoE and single target, if you need to save space, it would probably make sense for it to only be AoE. Adding in Hisatsu Sene was something that was added in Shadowbringers, but it would probably be okay to revert this change if you're really trying to save some space. I don't think it's super useful to have a whole button for something that you barely even use in something like raids.
Yeah,
I only use Gurren in ultimates in very certain places, and Shoha 2 is going to be very similar in that regard.
True.
You could honestly make 2 or 3 of these changes. The job is going to feel exactly the same, and you can save 2 to 3 ability slots.
True.
I want to believe that the goal here is to reduce button bloat, but preserve the way that the job plays. I never even thought that Kaiten was on the table for axing.
It's too much. It's too much of a big move.
Make my point clear here. You, the dev team, added in the buttons that are starting to create some of the bloat. And your decision is going to be to remove the old buttons and change a huge part of the rotation that were not a problem, instead of just changing the newer buttons that are causing the problem. Don't even make me think about how boring this is going to make leveling the job as well. On the flip side of this change...
Oh my god, dude, he's literally on point.
Auto crit on Midare, Setsugeka, and Ogi Namakiri,
yeah, what about that?
I think is going to be a good thing in the long run. I personally don't care about numbers. I still don't even care, even after this change. I just want to make one thing clear. If you are going to make a game like this and have buffs that increase critical strike chance, just by nature, this change is going to create more anti-synergy in a metagame where you deliberately put all the buffs on 2-minute timers so...
He's mentioning Ninja right now as well. To improve synergy with other jobs, Mug will now apply debuff. Yeah. That's a good point he makes, because Battle of Litany gives crit, and there's like a lot of things that give you crit actually. So I'm gonna go in game here for a second. Machinist also guarantees crit with Reassemble. This guarantees your next thing to be a crit, and now you have a guarantee. It has 2 charges as well, so there's a lot of guarantee crit things. Warrior's a great example as well. You have Berserk, right, which turns into whatever later, and it guarantees crit. It grants 3 stacks guaranteeing crit. And now Samurai, Midare will guarantee crit. There's a lot of guarantees, like, so why am I using Battle of Litany and stuff if it's just gonna crit? I didn't know Reassemble gets 2 charges. Yeah, you get it like later on. Then you can literally again and drill. Boom, crit. So there's all that crit like buffs from other groups. And I really wonder what Mug's gonna be. Mug's just gonna be damage, I think. Like, damage modifier is cool. I like Ninja. Like, it's just, hey, I do this, you do more damage. It's that easy. But like Dragoon, right? Battle of Litany. Alright, you got Battle of Litany, dude. That increased the crit hit by 10%. It's like, why do I care about 10% when I can guarantee a crit on Midare? That's a valid point that he makes, by the way. That's a completely valid point. I fully understand his POV on that one. And they're adding like Mug and stuff like that for 120 buff windows and stuff like that. And
in a metagame where you deliberately put all the buffs on 2-minute timers so that everyone is guaranteed to synergize. It's not going to end up being a big deal in the grand scheme, Just that some samurai players are obviously not going to feel happy that there are now buffs that they don't get to take advantage of anymore. These buttons auto-critting is not the big problem here. People are going to implode about stupid logs and stupid leaderboards, which I could not care less about. The only people who should even give a shit about this are people going for DPS high scores and speed kill groups. Really though, it's a bigger problem with the general gameplay of crit variance and RNG. And when a job in Final Fantasy XIV does the majority of its damage on only a few specific GCDs that they use very infrequently, it's going to be more susceptible to crit variance. So I can personally accept the changes to crit to help reduce that variance and make a job that doesn't have any procs more consistent. I will only be annoyed that I have to get an entirely different gear set for the ultimate that's coming out in this same patch. At the same time, I do know exactly why people are not going to be super happy about it either, and it is going to screw over a very niche portion of the player base. My point is this. I understand that the development team are trying to fix some issues. I don't think there needs to be a conflict between samurai players and the development team. It's clear that these changes come from the right place. I just don't think these are the best implemented solutions.
Yeah, the solution's kind of weird, champ. This like the solution to like, hey, let's remove Kaiten, and that's the button bloat. The solution wasn't well thought out. I think. I don't think it should have been removed at all. And like he said, if you're worrying about button bloat, you have Shoha 1, Shoha 2, Ogi Namekiri, Iki Shoten. These can be same buttons. He's right. And then you have Sene and Guren. Sene and Guren, I mean, whatever. I could probably live with having those on 2 buttons. But yeah, the Iki Shoten, Namekiri, like those things, yeah, and Shoha. For sure.
I do know that Final Fantasy
Those would have been
XIV
good
is a game
solutions.
where the devs are willing to listen to the player base, and I'm not going to insult anybody about the issue. I guarantee that you're going to see a lot of players blow a blood vessel over this, and since I am a mature adult, I made sure to punch a few holes in my wall before making this very calm and rational video. I just want the dev team to consider that maybe removing Kaiten isn't the right call, as well as maybe take into consideration every other samurai player who speaks out against it. I cannot speak very much about other changes for other jobs, but I do play a little bit of samurai. And it's all still just my personal opinion on the matter. I'm sure not everyone agrees with me. Although after Kaiten is removed despite my displeasure, I will probably still play the job and like it anyways. Just next time, Yoshida-san, can you at least take me out to dinner first before you fuck me over? Now let's get out there and pour one out for my boy.
Dude, this guy's videos are so great. This guy's videos are so good. Dude, those were very valid points that he made. Absolutely. Not only did he provide valid points, but he also gave you a solution on like how to fix the problem. And he like showcased, hey, you know, there are things that can be changed, can be adjusted, and there are other solutions than removing Kaiten completely. That was nice. That was a good video. And remember, guys, when we had Shadowfang as Ninja? I liked Shadowfang a lot. I was sad when they removed it. And it was like used after Trick. You would Trick and then Shadowfang into Dream Within a Dream. When that got removed, I was sad. I got over it though. But I liked Shadowfang. It was like pretty much a core part of the rotation. You use it literally after Trick. And it was nice. It looked cool. You did like a cool backflip and a slap. Like, I love the backflip. It looked so awesome. I've gotten over it now. Like, I'm okay with it not existing anymore. Now we have Kamaitachi, which I think is really cool. Because if you put it inside Duton in the opener, you do a shit ton of damage, and you proc Holo Nuzuchi, and you do big damage. Like, it feels great. I love it. But yeah. I think it's also to make the job easier, to be honest. Oh, the removal of Kaiten. I guess it gives people more of a reason to, like, not, what am I saying? It gives people less to think about. Like, oh, I don't have to spend my Kenki on this or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it was the right move. I kind of agree with the video that I don't think that the reasoning behind removing it, I think the reason behind it wasn't the best reason. To reduce action bloat. If they give a different reason, maybe I'd like hear it out. But to remove it just for action bloat is like, I don't know. So I do this. And this. Ogi, sure. See that? And like this. And we count Petit Higambana, put Yukikaze, Kaiten, Midare. There you go. And then you chill. I don't know. I mean, that feels... It feels good. It feels good. I don't feel button bloated at all. Favorite tag along, guys. Thank you so much for the epic session tonight. It was a lot of fun. I had fun. And yeah, I will be catching you guys on the next one tomorrow. Thank you for the stream. See ya. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Mango Passion Fruit. I appreciate that. And I will catch you guys in the arena. Peace out, y'all. And have a blessed night. You didn't know Kaiten.